Picture this. You wake up to the sensation of an icy hand grazing your skin, but when you look, there's no one there. Or imagine walking confidently across your living room, only to feel as though you're stepping onto shifting sand. Your balance suddenly unsteady. At first, you might brush these off as fleeting oddities, mere tricks of the mind. But what if they weren't? What if these eerie sensations were actually distress signals from your brain? Warnings of something far more serious, long before memory loss ever begins. Dementia doesn't announce its arrival with a dramatic event. It doesn't strike like lightning. Instead, it seeps into the brain, creeping in through subtle and often baffling changes. Phantom touches, unexplained pains, glimpses of movement where nothing exists. Most people ignore these sensations, dismissing them as stress, fatigue, or simply getting older. But cutting-edge research is revealing a startling truth. These bizarre experiences may be the earliest harbingers of neurological decline. Today, we are uncovering 7 strange and unsettling phantom sensations, each a potential red flag for dementia years before traditional symptoms appear. If any of these sound familiar, don't ignore them. Your brain might already be calling for help. Let's begin. Number 1. The unseen touch, a mysterious warning sign of dementia. Have you ever felt a tap on your shoulder, only to turn and find no one there? Or sensed a gentle tug at your sleeve, as if someone was trying to get your attention, yet you were completely alone? These eerie sensations might not be just tricks of the mind. A 2023 study has linked phantom touches to early-stage dementia, revealing that people who frequently experience these sensations have a higher risk of cognitive decline. Anna, a 75-year-old retired teacher, began noticing a light tug on her sleeve. At first, she dismissed it as fatigue or stress. But over time, the sensation became more frequent, convincing her that someone was touching her. 2 years later, she started misplacing items, forgetting conversations, and feeling disoriented. A neurological exam confirmed early-stage dementia. Had she recognized the phantom touch as an early warning, she might have sought medical help sooner. The brain's sensory system is highly sophisticated, constantly interpreting touch signals. But as dementia sets in, neurons misfire, creating false touch perceptions. The somatosensory cortex, responsible for processing touch, starts sending distorted signals, making people experience hallucinated physical contact. These sensations aren't just peculiar experiences, they may be the brain's first cry for help. Number 2. Walking on shifting ground, a subtle yet crucial early warning sign. Imagine walking across your own home, a place you know by heart, yet suddenly, something feels off. Your steps seem unsteady, as if you're walking on a mattress or sinking into shifting ground. You look down, expecting to see an uneven surface, but everything appears normal. This unsettling sensation, known as proprioceptive misperception, is more than just a passing oddity. It could be an early sign of dementia. A 2021 study found that individuals who later developed cognitive decline frequently reported feeling unstable on solid ground, even before noticeable memory issues emerged. This happens when the brain's ability to interpret body position and movement starts to break down, leading to misjudgments in balance and coordination. Susan, a 68-year-old grandmother, had always been steady on her feet. But one day, stairs started feeling unreliable. She hesitated before stepping, convinced they were shifting beneath her. Her family reassured her, assuming it was just aging. But soon, Susan began gripping walls for support, avoiding stairs altogether. A neurological exam later revealed early-stage cognitive impairment. Balance isn't just about muscle strength, it's about brain function. Dementia disrupts the brain's spatial awareness system, misfiring signals that cause instability and misperceptions. Many ignore these changes, thinking it's just aging, but early recognition can help slow cognitive decline before it's too late. Number 3. Brain zaps. The electrical storms inside your mind. Have you ever felt a sudden jolt inside your head, like a tiny bolt of lightning flashing through your brain? It comes without warning, vanishes in an instant, and leaves you momentarily startled. You might feel it while recalling a name, concentrating on a task, or even when completely at rest. Most people dismiss it as stress or fatigue, but what if these brain zaps were actually an early warning sign of dementia? A 2023 study found that individuals who frequently experience these electrical-like jolts are at a significantly higher risk of developing dementia. These strange, fleeting shocks occur because the brain's neurons misfire, struggling to transmit information correctly. Unlike regular headaches or tension, brain zaps are not tied to physical pain. They're the result of faulty neural communication. The brain functions through billions of neurons sending electrical impulses. When dementia begins to take hold, these signals become unstable, erratic, and unreliable. As neural pathways break down, they create random bursts of activity, leading to these brief but powerful jolts. Over time, these misfires can intensify, contributing to brain fog, memory lapses, and impaired decision-making. Most people ignore brain zaps, assuming they're harmless quirks. But mounting research suggests they may be one of the earliest distress signals of cognitive dysfunction. Recognizing these seemingly minor neurological glitches could be the first step in catching dementia before it fully takes hold. Number 4. Phantom crawling. When your brain tricks your skin. Imagine sitting comfortably in your chair when, out of nowhere, you feel tiny legs scuttling up your arm. You instinctively swipe at your skin, expecting to see an insect, but there's nothing there. The sensation is disturbingly real, too vivid to ignore. It happens again, along your legs, your neck, even your scalp. This unsettling experience, known as formication, is a type of phantom crawling sensation that has now been linked to early-stage dementia. A 2021 study found that tactile hallucinations, especially the feeling of bugs crawling on the skin, are significantly more common in individuals who later develop cognitive decline. Most people assume these sensations are caused by skin conditions, allergies, or actual insect infestations. But in reality, the issue isn't in the skin, it's in the brain. Dementia affects the way the brain processes touch, causing it to send false sensory signals that feel just as real as actual physical contact. What makes this symptom so dangerous is that many people overlook it. These phantom sensations often appear years before significant cognitive decline, making them an important yet frequently ignored early warning sign. Recognizing them early could help detect dementia long before memory loss begins. Number 5. Phantom water sensations. When your brain creates an illusion of wetness. Have you ever felt a drop of water hit your skin, only to check and find nothing there? The sensation is so real that you instinctively rub your arm or wipe your neck, convinced you just felt moisture, yet your skin remains completely dry. At first, this might seem like a minor quirk, something easily ignored. But research suggests phantom wetness sensations could be an early warning sign of dementia. A 2023 study found that many individuals in the early stages of cognitive decline reported experiencing the feeling of raindrops, mist, or sweat dripping down their skin, despite no actual moisture being present. These false sensations may indicate that the brain's sensory processing system is starting to fail. Tom, a 67-year-old retired accountant, frequently felt his hands were damp, constantly wiping them as if they had just been washed. At first, he assumed it was poor circulation or stress. But over time, subtle cognitive changes emerged. He began making simple math mistakes, forgetting grocery items, and losing track of conversations. A neurological exam revealed early-stage dementia. This phenomenon occurs because dementia disrupts the brain's ability to process sensory information. The somatosensory cortex misfires, sending incorrect signals that falsely register moisture. Though it may seem harmless at first, this unexplained sensation could be an urgent neurological warning that should not be ignored. Number 6. Phantom sounds. When your brain hears what isn't there. Have you ever heard a ringing, buzzing, or low humming sound that no one else seems to notice? Maybe it's a faint mechanical hum or a high-pitched whine in a silent room. At first, you might dismiss it as tinnitus, a common ear condition. But what if these phantom sounds weren't coming from your ears, but from your brain itself? A 2022 study revealed that persistent phantom noises may be an early sign of dementia. Unlike tinnitus, which results from inner ear damage, these sounds originate from misfiring neurons in the brain's auditory cortex. This suggests that something deeper is going wrong, potentially long before memory loss appears. The auditory cortex is responsible for processing sound, translating electrical signals from the ears into recognizable noise. But as dementia progresses, these signals can become distorted, misinterpreted, or even generated without an external source. This leads to phantom sounds that are entirely neurological. Neurons begin misfiring, creating false auditory sensations. The brain, struggling to filter and interpret sensory input, starts fabricating hallucinated noises, a phenomenon that often appears years before cognitive decline becomes noticeable. Unlike tinnitus, dementia-related phantom sounds are persistent, sometimes lasting for months. Number 7. Phantom cold or heat sensations. When your brain loses control of temperature. Have you ever felt an intense wave of cold or heat despite being in a perfectly comfortable environment? Maybe you've shivered uncontrollably on a warm day or found yourself overheating in an air-conditioned room. These sensations might seem like circulatory issues or hormonal imbalances, but they could be something far more concerning, a neurological warning sign of dementia. The hypothalamus, the brain's temperature control center, is responsible for regulating heat and cold perception. When dementia starts affecting this region, it can cause false temperature sensations, leading individuals to bundle up in summer or feel overheated in a cool environment. Lucy, a 66-year-old retired librarian, had always enjoyed warm weather. But one summer, she started wearing winter coats outdoors, wrapping herself in scarves despite the heat. Her family assumed it was a circulation issue, but soon, she began misplacing items, repeating herself, and forgetting familiar names. A neurological exam confirmed early-stage dementia. Her constant feeling of cold wasn't from her body. It was her brain misfiring. Dementia disrupts sensory processing, causing misinterpretation of temperature cues. As the hypothalamus deteriorates, the body loses the ability to regulate temperature properly. These symptoms are often dismissed, but recognizing them early could help detect cognitive decline before memory loss sets in. Final thoughts. Your brain's early warning system. Phantom sensations, unseen touches, shifting pains, crawling sensations, unexplained chills, or phantom sounds aren't just quirks of aging. They are distress signals from the brain, often appearing years before memory loss begins. For decades, dementia was seen as an inevitable consequence of aging, but research now shows that up to 40% of cases could be prevented with early intervention. These signs don't appear overnight. They are the brain's subtle whispers before the full impact of cognitive decline sets in. Most people dismiss these sensations as stress, fatigue, or harmless oddities. But by the time memory loss becomes obvious, significant brain damage has already occurred. Recognizing these early warnings allows for proactive action, adjusting diet, improving sleep, managing stress, and engaging in brain-stimulating activities, which can slow or even prevent further decline. If any of these symptoms sound familiar, don't ignore them. Awareness is key to protecting brain health before it's too late. Because when it comes to your brain, every choice you make today impacts the clarity of your mind tomorrow. See you in the next video.